Welcome, guys, to Views from the Vault. This is your homie Leon. We are here with Pierre and Pink Bottom Just. This is episode 5. We got some stuff to talk about today. Pierre worked his magic, and God's a very special guest. He's going to walk us through his journey, talk about his life in Caps, and we're going to take you through after with this week in Caps and kind of walk through what's new. But yeah, Pierre, let's take Justin under the cap.
Yeah, well, listen. Just so everyone knows, Justin is one of my favorite people in the hat game, and I got a chance to meet him a couple of times at the NoHo store, waiting in that line, and then finally getting up to the front. And listen, man, a good dude that just tells it like it is. So, I'm going to spend some time helping you guys get to know Justin. And then we'll be looking for some questions and whatnot. And if you guys have questions, just put them in the comments, and we'll kind of work through those too. But I want to start, Justin, by asking you, what got you into hats? Because I mean, you're obviously deep in the game now. So what got you there?
I don't really remember. The first sport I played was baseball growing up. So yeah, that's probably what it was when I was like 4 or 5 or something like that. And I never liked snapbacks. I've only worn fitteds forever. No dad hats, no flex fits, just strictly fitted. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I've worn a fitted for, 25 years or something like that. Something ridiculous like that. So yeah. And when I grew up playing baseball, I played high school baseball and travel ball. I was a catcher for most of it. It was before the hockey masks. So I always had a hat on, and I pretty much always wore my hats backwards. That's why I wear it 75% of the time. And that's just because I was so used to it throwing the mask on. It fitted. I hate that plastic feel on the front of my forehead.
Who's your favorite catcher growing up?
Ooh, Jason Kendall. I'm a Pirate fan, so it's got to be Jason.
It has to be Kendall, right?
Yeah. Hitter.
He was solid, man. He was solid.
Yeah. It's probably Jason Kendall. Pudge is up there.
He probably had the best arm I've ever seen behind the plate. The guy it was insane.
Yeah. I used to like Carlos Santana before he switched.
Yeah.
It was, who didn't like Mike Piazza? Who didn't like, there's a bunch of good ones.
Well, listen, so you got into it young, you're playing baseball and stuff. So what led to your time at Hat Club? So, let's kind of move to that space.
All right. So I've been at Hat Club, March made, I forget the date, but sometime in March made 7 years. So the way it started, actually, I graduated high school, of course, didn't know what I wanted to do. I went to John Jay in Manhattan for a year, trying to figure out what I want to do. I wound up transferring schools to Brockport. It's a SUNY, about 20 minutes from Rochester or so. Went to school there. Was actually studying to be a gym teacher, phys ed teacher. But when I graduated in 2011, there was a hiring freeze in New York City. So when I went to that job, I worked at one school for a year. Literally couldn't find a job because literally no one was hiring, especially for phys ed teachers, with the hiring freeze. And my girlfriend at the time worked with one of my friends from high school on Mercer Street at a store called Joe's Jeans. I'm still with her today too, by the way. Shout out to her. She might be watching this. Their boss at the time, their store manager, wound up knowing the owner of Hat Club somehow, like from Arizona. And he asked her if they knew anyone that would be interested in working at the store. She hit me up, and I think a couple of days later, I applied. I was working at this catering spot at the time, and I think the next day or 2 days later, they were like, "Yeah, when you start?" Started a week or 2 weeks later, whatever it was, and yeah, I've been there ever since. So I was a sales rep, then I was a key holder, and then I was manager, which I've been manager for maybe 6 years at the time. But then maybe 5.5, 6 years, something like that.
Little did they know that was a transformational hire.
Yeah. And the person that's still there actually runs the warehouse. Shout out to DK. He's back in Arizona running the warehouse now.
Man, a transformational moment in Hat Club's future because you couldn't find a job somewhere else.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. And then I mean, I've always been into fitted, so like, it just kind of fit.
Yeah. So listen, man. I mean, you and I have had conversations about this in the past, but I'd love to hear, what got you to a place where these pink bottoms became like the thing. Now, I always say before you get there, right? I want to make sure that I say this out loud. I truly believe 90% of the people that say they don't like pink bottoms have never tried one on. And I'll tell you why. Richard Genick, right, sent me pictures of the pink bottom when that first run that was going to be put up for sale.
The 96s. Yeah, I think you're wearing it right now. The original one is 96.
Okay.
That was just the friends and family.
Right.
Then I did a 99, which also was a friends and family, but I did a couple more, so a couple of my regulars got them. Yeah. And then I did a Diamondbacks and the Yankees again, and I think a White Sox. I don't remember. Maybe there was LA in there too. And then it like.
But either way, Justin, I wasn't. When I saw it in a picture, I wasn't sure if I wanted one.
Yeah.
Then once I had it in hand, you know where the story goes from there, because I know you know how many of these things I bought, right?
Yeah.
You know my order history the other day, and the number was ridiculous. What was it? How many orders did I have? Was it 250?
Yeah, I think it was 252 before whatever you placed this week. So it's probably up to like, I don't know, 260.
I'm a believer, right? So I want to hear about how you got there. So these pink bottoms to me have transformed some things culturally, especially in New York City. But then once they got out, everybody across the country is like, God, I want these things.
Yeah. I mean, the story. All right. So pretty much like, since I've been the manager, we moved from the Mercer spot, which was Hat Club Soho, for anyone that doesn't know. We moved to, north of Houston. So we're Hat Club NoHo. If anyone doesn't know, that's the reason why we're called Hat Club NoHo now, because we're north of Houston instead of south of Houston.
And if you're from New York, if you say Houston and not Houston.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know why it's pronounced Houston Street. It's spelled like Houston though. But yeah, we pronounce Houston. I think it's based off of the neighborhood in England. I think they pronounce it Houston.
Oh, I thought it was just for the hatred of the Astros.
No. I mean that just started, this past year. But but yeah, so Hat Club was going through a transition. John, who I work with now, who's the buyer of the company, if you don't follow him, T800 John on Instagram. So he was there already when I started, and he would always do these funky color waves. He actually did the first icy blue I've seen. It wasn't on retros, which is where like our stuff differs. But he would do them before I started, the infrared, which we just use on those J-tip hats that are coming out this weekend. That's where I got the infrared from. He did like a Braves and a Chicago Blackhawks hat. I still have the Braves hat. That's where I got the infrared from. So a lot of the colors I use or I've seen from him over the years. And we did all these funky customs. Then the company went through a transition where I couldn't really even do anything or ask for anything. It was kind of like they were going to tell me what I was doing. And I was like, all right, cool. Like that's the way you want to run it. So if anyone remembers, we had like a year where we were kind of like off a little bit. And then finally, maybe 6 months of annoying John and Ryan, like just let me, maybe a year. I don't remember exactly how long, but I was like, yo, let me do something. Like, let me do my customs like we used to do. Like the sales will start to go up. Just let me do what we wanted to do. And the pink bottoms came about where I was, I have homies that chill in the store all the time. One of my coworkers, my employee Dom, her boyfriend is always in the store. Shout out to Preem. We were chopping it up, and I mean, I don't remember the exact conversation word for word, but I actually had this jersey coming in, Blue Leicester City jersey, which is the same pink as the pink underbill. That's where I get it from. And we had done a Dipset fitted maybe 2 years before that. It was all pink. And it's the same pink too. And we were talking about, he's like, yo, what if we intertwine different colors? And, somehow, I don't know who said it first. He might've said it first. And he was like, yo, let's do a pink on them. And I was like, all right, let me switch this up. And I was like, let me do it for friends and family first. Let me see if they'll actually let me do it. so, John said, all right, fine, I'll find you some money just to do a small run for friends and family, like a minimum run. We did it. And even in the warehouse, they were like, what are these pink bottoms? Like, what? And then he was like, Justin wanted to just let him have it. What's the worst that can happen? It's like 20 hats. Like who cares? I got it in, and I want to say just from word of mouth from the homies, I think they sold in less than 2 hours. And they were like, when's the last time NoHo has sold a hat in less than 2 hours? And they were like, well, never. And he's like, all right, well, let me do more of them. Did more of them. So me and Preem, we're like, hey, I'm going to do these. And then, even though we came up with the idea together, he was like, all right, I always give him credit for being there when we first came up with it. But then I, transformed it from there with using all the colors. And then I want to say, I started telling people I would get like lines and stuff like that, but it like wasn't actual lines. It was like people like waiting around the area for us to open it at 11. It was like maybe 10 people, and I'd like have like, I don't know, like 70 hats for a drop. So everyone would get something, it wasn't like, back then we were doing way smaller numbers. So, something like that. And I think we did the glow in the dark ones for Halloween. And I had a couple people, and I had just gotten 9 styles of pink bottoms. So we dropped the Halloween ones on a Thursday, and I told everyone Friday I'm dropping more pink bottoms tomorrow. So I already had a little bit of a buzz, but it wasn't crazy. It was like, okay, like people buy them, they sell out, but like there's no line. So I told people, yo, I'm getting them 11 a.m. We're dropping them tomorrow morning. Let's do an actual drop in the store. How sneaker stores do. Mm-hmm. And I think it might have been November 1st or whatever that weekend was around Halloween or whatever it was that Friday. Yeah. And then I remember, it takes me about an hour to get to work or so. I remember getting on the train, and right before I got on the train, or right after I sat down, my photographer who shoots all my stuff was like, yo, there's like a line down the block. And I said, what? He's like, yeah, man, there's like an actual line. So we sold the first 4 styles that Friday, came back Saturday, and sold the next 5 styles out on Saturday in less than 90 minutes. They were all gone, every size, even the 8s were gone. And then every Friday, Saturday, and until quarantine stopped us, but I did a drop every Friday, Saturday, and sometimes Tuesdays every week since November 1st or Halloween, whenever that weekend was.
Yeah, and listen,
till we closed.
There's people that were sometimes waiting out there at 5 a.m. on camp chairs.
Yeah, 5 a.m. was late the more recent times, but before we closed, it was about 1 a.m.
That's insane.
Yeah, and during the summer.
We're not talking about warm weather. We're not talking about warm weather, Justin. There was
freezing.
20 degrees, 15 degrees.
Yeah.
On camp chairs.
Yeah, I remember the last line we did, I might have had like 150 people. I think the people that got there at 5 a.m. were like 20th.
Yeah.
And we opened at 11. So 1 a.m. I think was the time people started. Oh, and during the summer, it might have been the night before.
Yeah.
Like that's insane, it might have been the night before. Yeah.
Insane. And listen, let me ask you a question, right? So like there's other hat retailers out there now that are imitating, right? At this point, they're seeing it, they can feel it, and they're putting out their own stuff, right? But, more not really focusing on that. I'd like to hear more about like, what are you going to do to stay ahead? Because you're a creative guy. I know you can't give all your secrets here. I get that, but like, what is your thought process in terms of how you stay ahead of these folks? Because imitation is sometimes considered the best form of flattery, but it's also a pain in the ass.
Yes. So for people who don't know, real quick, I'll break down the process of how some stuff works. So when you're just changing colors, it's a 3-month process, which is why all our pre-orders are about 90 days to 3 months, because we put in the order the week after the pre-order ends, which is why you have to wait that long. That's standard from New Era. Now, if anybody has any of the corduroys or the silk insides or satin insides, like the World Series when we just dropped with all the World Series, that's a 6-month process. The local icons is a 6-month to 8-month process.
The Friday the 13th cap is a 6-month process.
6 months, yes. So I can start maybe numbering them at some point, but it takes way longer for me to get them in. So like that is going to be an option when I change some, like I have some stuff coming up, which I'll start to number them, and some ideas, which I will do, because I'm changing the material, so it's already a 6-month process. But it would take too long for me to get stuff out to you guys, so I don't do it. The other stores that are copying, I mean, I can't trademark a color. New Era's not going to lose out on all that money, so they're just going to let it go.
Yeah.
But as long as people don't try to take the credit for starting it, is where I have a problem. Like, if you're going to, like, take the style, cool, whatever. There's nothing I can do about it. But then don't start off with. I've had people claim that they worked with me, they know me, to make their stuff sell better. One guy claimed he started it before me. I copied him. I had another store claiming they did it 10 years ago, and then they got called out. So you did it 10 years, but then waited a year after NoHo put them out to then do a restock from 10 years ago. Like, that makes no sense. Like just admit that it's dope and you like it, and it's gonna get you sales, and it's gonna keep the rent paid. Like, cool, I have no problem with that. But don't claim that this person is a trendsetter and they did this. Like, just give me the credit at the end of the day. Like, it's not that hard to do it. And if you don't know, then you'll know eventually. Which is why I like, the people that follow me. A lot of the times they put people on blast for not giving me the credit. Which is
a thread on FHS. We had a thread where the store, maybe Leon, you can remind me, the store down south that did the Marlins ones.
Shoe Gallery.
Shoe Gallery did it, and then that sparked like a lot of folks kind of talking about it, and then folks are coming to your defense in the thread saying, hey, listen, this is Justin's creation, and so on and so forth. But I think what I'm most impressed about with you is that you're thinking ahead, so you're not dwelling on that. You're thinking about, how do I stay in front of this, like, and I think those icy blues that you've been doing, this new one, the forest green with the blue, with the icy blue under, and the beautiful patch with the blue elements in it, dude, like, you're staying ahead. And I love that, because it's not focusing on these little setbacks or these people trying to imitate.
Yeah.
Oh, what am I going to do next?
Yeah. I mean, like, I've had, so people don't, but people know it's now since I just said it, but like, anything you guys see coming out now, I know we've been delayed recently, but it's 3 to 4 months in advance. Like, I've already thought of this, and like, I did September actually last night. So I've already, September orders will be put in beginning of next week, but I've already mapped them out, what we're going to do. Got to get maybe some patches to make sure that they're approved or whatever. Doing some minor league ones for everyone that wanted to know if I'm doing some minor league ones. But yeah, man, I mean, it's like, my goal is to, in maybe 20 years or whatever, when people walk into a store, they'll ask for, gray bottoms, green bottoms, and pink bottoms. That's the goal.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
That's where I'm at. Like, my number one is green just because I grew up on it, right?
Yeah.
Number two now is pink.
Yeah.
And my number three is gray, which is way different than what I would have answered, a year ago.
Yeah. And it's funny, the first time I knew I really had something, it wasn't when I sold out. I wore, and it was the middle of the summer. It was May 27th, actually, is the anniversary of Pink Bottoms. It's coming up in a week from today. I wore it outside, and I was walking to the train. It was middle of summer, t-shirt, and I just, I wear my hats up sometimes too. And a guy walked by me and literally turned around and like broke his neck for it. And he was like, "Is that pink?" Because from afar it looks gray, which is why I like it. It looks gray from afar, but when you actually get there, which is why it's a subtle pink. Where'd you get that? And I was like, "Oh, I make them. Stores up the block. I'll post it on there." That's when I knew. I was like, "All right, I think I got something here."
Justin, I won't tell everyone where I work, right? You know where I work, but I won't I don't want everyone to know where I work.
Yeah.
But I work in Yonkers, right? Which is the Bronx's little sister, right?
Yeah.
And I wear that hat on my way into work. I can't wear it while I'm at work, but I would wear a pink bottom into work. And I can tell you this, I would walk 3 blocks from the parking garage to work, and every day I would have someone stop me.
Yeah.
And I think that says something about what you've done here. And I appreciate it. And I know a lot of folks, a lot of other folks appreciate this trend that you've created. Let me ask you a question, if it's okay, Justin. There's one more question I want to ask is, you have so many people coming to you about these things now, like your Instagram DMs, everything has got to be blowing up on you. How do you handle all that?
I mean, it's annoying. I never wanted to be the front and center of anything. I've always been in the background. I mean, I'm kind of forced into it now. So just accept it and move on, kind of how I deal with people taking the pink bottoms, but I mean, like I'm always thinking of new ideas and how I can get stuff done, or taking an approach from another company that does not just hats but sneakers, or maybe it's sporting equipment, or I love sports. So like, yeah, I'm starting to learn to deal with it, but like I can't help everyone, but I want everyone to get one, which is why Hat Club does pre-orders.
Mhm.
We do pre-orders so everybody can touch. That is the main reason why. I know it sucks you have to wait that long, but I have people that say that sucks that they waited, but then when the 3 months ends up and they see everyone getting their hats, they're like, oh, I should have bought that. Like,
Dude, I already have people saying it, man. I posted my red velvets again, the ones that I had from the first time around,
mhm.
and everyone's like, God, I can't believe I didn't pre-order. I'm like, listen,
Yeah.
when these come up on pre-order, buy them.
No
Yep.
excuse.
You'll be happy 3 months from now. Just buy them. Like,
There's no
what
excuse.
you're just going to be disappointed again, right, Leon?
There's no excuse for it. I mean, credit to you, Justin, man. I watched you give away hats, not give away, but like sell hats on IG Live for maybe 6 hours on Saturday straight,
Mhm.
another
Yep.
4 hours. You had grown men just begging for it, and you were patient as hell. You're letting everyone know, like, at the end of the day, this is not something that you created so that people can't have it. Like, you want people to have your
Right.
product. Like, why wouldn't you, right?
Yeah.
So
I
all the
mean,
credit to you.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it. And for everyone that supports me, I appreciate it. I really hope that everyone watching this, or watches it later, like I hope everyone is able to get one. I don't make them so they're so limited or whatever. We make them, and people have to realize, like, we made them and then blew up instantly. Like, once online started to get them, it kind of happened with the quarantine. So everyone's at home, and our numbers shot up. Like, our page views shot up.
Yeah.
There's no way for me to expect that 4 months ago, and then I can't get them in 2 weeks. Plus, everything is delayed. There's no way for me to account for that.
Yeah.
So everything I plan, like, we did the shock drops to met people who aren't the quickest ones are able to get it. For everyone that doesn't know, the shock drops are actually the NoHo inventory that I ordered just for the store. But since no one is working at the store, online selling everything. So shock drops are meant for my stuff. It wasn't meant for an online one. It was meant for NoHo order.
Yeah.
Which is why we just, Luis just does shock drops, and that's just what he does. That's his domain. I have, Pierre knows that when he sees me at the NoHo store, he comes in and I do all what day stuff is going to drop. I sort them. That's my whole process. .com is not my domain. I have no say on what's dropping. I don't know what's coming out. It's up to them. If they want to let me know, that they let me know, but I'm not going to ask him, to tell me how he does his process. He's been doing .com for so long. That's his domain. Let him do it. I have no say, but once we get back into NoHo, I'll go back to scheduling drops. And but yeah, I mean, I'm even lucky enough that John lets me design for the company. So
yeah, I think people have short memories because they have to understand what happened before was all your stuff was you had to be there in person and buy it. So like, the quarantine was almost a blessing for you in the sense that it unleashed your creatures for anyone to just buy. Before you had to know someone or line up, and now people feel entitled to it. So,
and it's not like I didn't want them online. I guess maybe corporate didn't know that it would take off this fast, this far, because New York is a different market than Arizona or Texas or Cali, or we're our own market. So like, nobody wears AC caps here. Like, it's rare. And the person that does wear an AC cap, like an on-field cap, like, they buy one hat a year. My customers buy, one hat a week. If they can get all 8 from the drops for that week, they're buying all 8. Yeah. It's a whole different thing. And yeah, man, like, I really want everyone to get one. We're placing way bigger orders for everyone to touch. And yeah, I mean, I'm very excited for what the future holds for myself. And maybe I'll be able to do way more stuff and collab with way more people. But I mean, at the end of the day, I just, not to sound like a dickhead, but I want to get the credit I deserve just so I can do more stuff.
Yeah.
It's not so I can be a dickhead and everyone can be like, he's an asshole. He doesn't. I was kind of an asshole regardless. Like, if you come into my store and ask me a dumb question, I'm going to give you a dumb answer. Like, You know, if you ask me, you know, like, do you guys sell hats? I'm going to say, no, we sell shelving. Like, of course, it's called Hat Club and it's hats everywhere. Like, of course we sell hats. Like,
Yeah.
you know, or if I post sold out on the NoHo page, I don't want asking me, do you have any more? It clearly says sold out. Like,
Right. Yeah.
I don't, and it's not one person dealing with it. I'm dealing with 100 of those every hour. It's not one person, you know. I'll get a DM that will be like, hey man, how, like, you know, how can I get these hats? And I'll say hatclub.com, but they sell out instantly, you know, like, look out for the NoHo page or Hat Club, and we'll post it on there. And then they'll respond with, well, I don't see it. I literally just explained to you how it works. Don't DM me anymore. Don't ever DM me. I'm done with that, because
some of the average customers think there's little elves out back putting these hats together, you know?
Yeah. And it's like, and yeah, and like, I want everyone to get one, and I'm doing what I can, but like, you're not the only person. Like, I have 2,000 DMs right now. I only have 3,000 followers. So half those DMs are don't even follow me.
Yeah.
So they just want my stuff because it's popular now. No one remembers when I was doing hats 4 years ago and I did Royal Bottoms.
Yeah.
No one cared when we dropped the Royal Bottom in 2015 or whatever it was. No one cared.
Yeah.
It's just fitted are popular now. So like, I want everyone to get one, and like, just to know that like, my plan is for everyone to get something that I make. And which is why I don't even buy my own stuff. Like, I've made over 200 pink bottoms. I own 6 of them.
Yeah.
I own 6. I'd rather the person who waits on my line for 6 hours I wear a common size. I'm 7.25. I'd rather they get my hat. Like, I have a box in the store, which, you know, I'll take certain ones. Like, I made a custom Pirates hat earlier this year, and I'm a big Pirate fan. And I was like, yeah, man, like, I want this one for myself. I had a guy in there for maybe half an hour, 45 minutes. He couldn't find anything in the size because we sold out of almost the whole stock. And I was like, you know what, man? Let me go into my box. If you want this hat, it's yours.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll ever do it again, but I sold it to him. I want everyone to get something, but people got to understand, when I'm getting 1,000 messages all day, by the time I get the message 800, I'm annoyed.
Yeah.
Especially when it's like a simple answer.
Yeah.
Like, are you, like, if people watch my lives, they'll be like, are you going to do pink bottoms again?
Yeah. You know what it is, Justin?
It's literally my signature.
Like first world problems, though. You know, it's a good problem to have to a degree, but I can see it wears on. It would wear on me too, man. Listen, a couple of things, right? So we got a couple of folks asking some questions, if that's okay. And you know, they're asking, like, so San Diego, there's definitely a red velvet. I have that one, but you know, any more plans for maybe a San Diego cap in the future with a pink bottom?
I know I did a pink lemonade one. So for everyone watching, my memory is absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible memory. I did September before we jumped on. I was trying to tell, you know, you guys, you know, a little sneak peek of what I did for September. I literally couldn't remember one of the packs. Like, I mean, I remembered, like, you know, snippets of certain ones, but other ones, like, the way I work is I literally will, you know, get on a phone call with John every 3 weeks or so. That's the buyer. I'll get on the phone with him for 3 weeks. Once every 3 weeks for maybe 2-3 hours, and I would just spitball it. Like, all right, what are we doing? All right, we have these packs coming out. Like, I just did a pack. I'll kind of share a snippet of it, but I did a pack where you'll be able to get a bunch of hats in a duffel and kind of get it numbered and that stuff. I did that right there. Then I did another pink bottom pack, this pack, and I, like, you know, like the minor league thing I talked about earlier. I did those ones. And like, he's over there writing it down for the schedule for, you know, because he submits the order forms. And then 2 hours later, I'm like, wait, what teams did I just do for minor league? Like, I don't even remember.
Dude, the
2 hours later,
the minor league's gonna be huge, man. That's gonna be big. You got you do something with minor leagues, you're like, that's gonna be big.
But going back to San Diego, I definitely did a yellow, I believe. I did a green. Want to say I did a black. I like the way, so to give credit to John for that San Diego one, he did that San Diego hat, because I had originally just done, I think, the Blue Jays, the Diamondbacks, the Yankees, the LA, the White Sox, and the Mets. He added the rest. I like what he did, where he changed.
Red velvet.
For the red, because we dropped
I like
those.
San Diego because the S and the D are different colors. One's creamy.
So I like what he did with that, because originally I thought you used to have to follow those stitch patterns for New Era, which is why certain colors, which I thought I had to follow it where it can only be the same color. He said, no, we can change that. So he asked if we can get a change, and that's where we were able to get it changed. Kind of like what they used to wear in like the 90s.
Yeah.
So I follow that same plan for a lot of them, but yeah, there is definitely more San Diego stuff. Everyone knows the reason why it's Yankees in LA the most. It's what sells the best.
They move.
Yeah.
They just move.
At the end of the day, we're a company, and they're gonna have me do those ones. So I try to be as creative with those ones as the most. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, some do. I did. You saw. I don't know if you saw the video I put up of my top 10 pink bottoms.
Yep.
But
Yep.
some guy was writing my messages. He's like, "Oh, can you do an unbiased top 10?" Because I excluded the Yankees. Because you know as well as anybody, I hate the Yankees.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna. Top 10 lists are not. That's what they're about. It's my top 10, not yours, clown.
Yeah. I mean, I got a top 10 list. I think it's pretty good. I mean, I remember all of them, but
Yeah.
this is definitely number one, though. This is my favorite I've ever done.
I missed out on that one. That's one I don't have. But you and I were the same size too, so.
Yeah, this one was I had a bunch of rappers in the store who get stuff early sometimes they all went for this one.
Yeah.
I had to do like a surprise drop on like a Tuesday or 5 p.m. or something like that, and yeah, it didn't last more than 10 minutes. But
it's a great hat, man.
I think like 5 requests for the pre-order for that Rocky.
Yeah.
For this one, so just like I do not do the pre-orders. I just design. That's not up to me. That is above me.
Right. So you're saying hit up T800 John on Instagram. So everyone out there, hit up T800 John on Instagram, the faceless heat generator from Hat Club. Yeah. Have you ever seen his face?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've met him a bunch of times. Yeah. I know everybody.
He's like a
yeah. I even know what Luis looks like.
Man. I know his voice. I know what his voice sounds like. It's pretty soothing. I don't know what he looks like. So listen, Justin, it was great going under the cap with you, man.
Yeah,
outstanding, and we really appreciate you being on. We want you to stay on if that's okay.
Yeah, no. Any questions I could be on for as long as you guys want. Any more questions off field or, yeah. I mean, like, I love that people are interested in the stuff that I'm making. It's it's very humbling and it's dope. I'm not I'm not gonna let my little success I have right now or the wave I have right now get to me. I want everybody to be able to get something I make. That's the point of me making it. I don't make it so me and my 17 friends, can have it and no one else can. I don't care about sneakers. I don't care about the designer clothes. I care about, basically hockey jerseys and fitteds. Like that's all I really care about. I don't and I'm not like, oh my God, I'm the only person with this, like Bret Hart Hitman Calgary, Hitman jersey. Like I just want everyone to be able to touch something. So if anyone wants to know, a lot of the colors I pull from are from jerseys, which is where I get a lot of the inspiration from. But yeah, I mean, shoot away any questions that anybody has. You guys want to know more how my design process works or anything like that? Yeah, not a problem. But yeah, everyone watching, I really do appreciate you guys tuning in. And any questions, feel free to DM me. Yeah, just make it. I like questions that are not like, "Are you making hats again?" Like something creative. Like if you see me, I do Yankees hats all the time. Don't ask me, "Are you doing more Yankees hats?" Maybe ask me, "Am I doing a San Diego hat in yellow, in green?" Like maybe ask me, "What minor league teams are you doing? Will you ever do a Trenton Thunder hat? How about, Australian rules football? Can you get the rights to that? How about a Manchester City hat?" Like that is something like maybe you should collab with this person, something that is out of the box, not, "Hey, I'm a big Phillies fan. I really like your Phillies hat you did 6 months ago. Can you pre-order that for me?" Like,
what's interesting, Justin, before we move on to the week in review, right?
Yeah.
What's interesting is this product has helped touch a lot of different people and not even like sports fans. So like, there's a lot of people wearing your stuff that can't name a player from the team that's represented on the patch in the side. Yeah. Which is great.
That's most people that wear Yankee hats. So that's not anything.
But that's okay, right? But I think, I think what's cool is it's introducing them to another world, which could be sports or it could be whatever it is. It's
I mean,
so many different things.
Yeah, I mean, my store is basically fashion based. that's what New York is, especially in the area that we're in. You know, credit the area, the Soho NoHo area for making it as big as it was. If I had a store on Flatbush in Brooklyn where I live,
you know what's really cool too? When I was waiting in the line once, I was so far back, I was able to get a drink at Starbucks and come right back out and get into the line again. So
yeah,
that was pretty cool.